Hello to everybody. My name is Peter Prokop. I'm from GIVE Management Consulting, and we are providing you today with a webinar about customer satisfaction. And I would like to introduce myself and Miss Agata Levkutska, who is our expert for quality and for customer satisfaction. So first, to my person, I'm Peter Prokop. I'm owner of the company GIVE Management Consulting, and we are providers for interim management and experts in actually everywhere where the automotive industry is working today. So now I would like to introduce Agata herself. Agata, could you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, this is the most difficult question today. I really don't like to talk about myself, but generally, my name is Agata Lewkowska. I'm Polish. I'm living close to Warsaw, so I connected today from Poland, in the middle of Poland. I'm quality management system expert in automotive. I have 15 years experience working in this industry in different roles, starting from quality engineering, supplier management, and also working with the system. And also, actually, I must say that working with the system is for me the most interesting part of this quality area and management. Also, I was creating quality management system certified according to IATF standard in automotive for greenfield plants. What else? I'm also an auditor since the time I started as being an internal auditor in according to ISO TS at the time. Since today, I'm an auditor, a first and second party auditor, and currently I'm also in the process to obtain all the permissions to become a third party auditor in one of the certification body. I hope this will happen till end of this year, but we'll see. Additionally, I'm also VDA 6.3 auditor, because working in automotive industry, suddenly you also have to have that kind of skills. Well, among additional to this, I was also working in the university in Warsaw, Warsaw School of Economics, where I also obtained my PhD in quality, in management and quality science. I specialized in process approach. I'm very keen on process approach, so this is also supporting very strongly customer focus and customer satisfaction. So I think that would be all. If you won't have any question.
Agata, thank you very much. It sounds fantastic, and that's also the reason why we invite you, and we prepare for you a bunch of questions what I will give you. But before I do that, I would like to introduce all the participants to put their questions in by writing in chat, or you can also disturb us and step in, and we will be very happy to answer your question and or to focus on something what you are very interested in. So, if there are not any other organization issues, I would like to start with our questions. And I think the first one, it's when we want to start to talk about customer satisfaction, is always the question: what is it actually? What we understand under customer satisfaction in this particular webinar, because I can imagine everybody has a little bit his own definition. What is actually, Agata, what is your definition of customer satisfaction?
So generally, we have to apparently stay in the automotive because I'm originated from this. So I'm only capable to tell you how it is in this industry. So generally, we have to bear in mind that the automotive industry is very specific. We have here certain standards to follow, and also the customer satisfaction is very strongly built into the quality management systems, because it simply comes from even the philosophy of total quality management, where customer satisfaction is one of the 8 most important rules how to build quality management systems. So simply, it's a very strong focus on customer. If, for instance, we are talking about even certified quality management systems. So generally, when we talk about systems in automotive, we will refer to firstly ISO 9001, which is the basis. Actually, not that I would say it's not enough in the automotive industry. So that's why we have more requirements in IATF 16949 simply, which actually expand all the requirements to assure customer satisfaction. And here, now I will strongly dig into customer satisfaction, because firstly, knowing that ISO 9001 is built upon customer orientation, we can find also in IATF the same approach, customer focus, customer orientation, which simply would mean how the organizations would follow the requirements. So this, we can say, this is a degree how the customer requirements can be met. But not only customer requirements, because for customer orientation, we also need to fulfill more specific things, which also are described in IATF, how to understand this customer orientation. For instance, understanding legal requirements, or for instance, the risk-based thinking, which also would contribute to, in fact, customer satisfaction. So mostly I would say that this is around this. We also have some extra requirements to our customer satisfaction around the whole standard of IATF when we are talking about working in the automotive supply chain. And I hope in the next minutes I will reveal you something more when you will be more specific. What would you like to ask me about?
But first, I would like to ask you, like I said, if you want to manage something, you have to measure it.
Yeah.
And this is my next question. How you want to monitor actually the customer satisfaction?
Mm-hmm. IATF is very strict with this, because there is a special clause to how to monitor and fulfill customer satisfaction. We can find it around the point 912 in IATF. So definitely we can also get there some hints what we have to do. Maybe hints it's set to smoothly. It's more about the requirement, and we cannot neglect it, and in fact we cannot follow this. So definitely we have to remember that we have to monitor customer satisfaction continually. It's a kind of the process which from the very beginning of the cooperation with the customer, we have to just simply do. And also, please remember that this customer monitoring, the satisfaction of customer monitoring, should be done through our internal way, how we approach it, but also by external approach. And when we are talking about this external, we also can find some hint in the IATF by, for instance, customer portals and scorecards. And this will be the most relevant for OEMs, original equipment manufacturer. This is how we call the producers of the vehicles in automotive generally, which are in IATF organization. And also by internal, as I mentioned. So internally, you also have to define your own way, how you would like to behave in gaining the information about customer satisfaction. But definitely there are also a certain requirement in the IATF that you have to have some special indicators in this regard. So definitely when we will be talking about customer satisfaction monitoring, this will be perceived through, for instance, delivery performance. So in terms of logistics, activities in the logistics department probably, and also about the quality of the pieces we are probably delivering to the customer. But also in automotive, we have some other factors, like, for instance, you have to take into consideration what is happening on the field. So do we have field failures, maybe returns connected to maybe some recalls? Maybe our organization has to follow warranty agreement with the customer. So definitely also customer satisfaction can be monitored through this. What else? Also, I've said about delivery schedule performance, but also we can't forget about premium freights, for instance, because this also should be included in monitoring. Also, if we have any disruptions in case of, for instance, special status, which we have in our cooperation with the customer, and this is not a good situation because special status is given, for instance, maybe given by OEM, because we really do not handle the customer requirements properly. Yeah? So this is really a difficult situation. So customer monitoring is more or less about this, but this is not only this what is said in the ETF, because organizations always have the possibility to figure out their own way how to approach this topic. Yes, but if they will decide to do their own way, definitely this will be also a kind of the I will say it straight, audit criteria and mandatory approach for the organization to just simply follow, yes, the rules which will be defined in the organization. What is also important to say that generally we have this customer in all the supply chain, customer satisfaction in all the supply chain. We have to assure that this will actually contribute at the end, that the final OEM will actually be satisfied with the cooperation with us. Yes, so we can't also neglect our suppliers.
Okay, thank you. When I'm thinking now, actually, what is the starting point where you start to touch actually this customer satisfaction? I mean, this is based on some relationship between the supplier and the customer, but what is the base actually for this communication and for this management of customer satisfaction?
Mm-hmm. In my opinion, actually, customer satisfaction starts when simply we start a cooperation with the OEM. So definitely, it's not only when we are already in the serial production, but also when we just simply start from the project point of view. So when we are receiving the nomination from the customer and the confirmation that we are starting the process to work with the customer, we already have to assure that we understand the requirements, we understand what our customer wants from us, and actually that we agree on all of this. We have to remember that, first of all, I started this meeting today talking about the requirements in EATF standard, but this is not only this. We have much more, because among this we have also customer specific requirements, which also the organization is obliged to evaluate, review, and actually implement in their quality management system. And in this customer specific requirements, we can find a lot of additional requirements, which at the end will satisfy the customer with fulfilling all other requirements. But let's come back a little bit to this project phase. So first of all, we can say that project management is really very crucial here, because the way how we will work in this project phase will probably have the consequences how the customer satisfaction will be met later. So generally, in fact, when we start the project, at the very beginning, we are confirming the requirements. Probably this will start at the very beginning with RFQ, request for quotation, wherein probably that this will be also the first moment when we will confirm to the customer that we are capable to produce for him the pieces which you probably, but not only pieces, because this also can be a service that we are gonna sell it later on. So the project phase is really crucial, and here we have to follow the customer specific requirement, because in this customer specific requirements, you will find the information, what approach customer would like us to follow to go through the project phase, and simply in the life cycle of this, what we are gonna sell later on. We can have here, of course, two main approaches. American approach derived from AIAG organization. Then we can talk about APQP, Advanced Quality Product Planning, or probably the second most important around the world, especially on the German market. This will be from the organization VDA KMC. We would have here VDA MLA, Maturity Level Assurance. Yes, and both these approaches are actually satisfying the customer, yes, but they are very different in their use. That's why you really have to consider what your customer, which approach customer would like you to follow, because at the end, especially in the German approach, where you have a very big cooperation with between customer and the supplier, you're contributing to the risk of the whole project. In American approach, it's different, but at the end, the most important is to deliver on time this what customer would like to have, avoiding any changes in the project. Yes, so around this.
Okay, okay. Let's go one step further. Direction production, serial production. How is it actually there? Because I think there is some difference.
In serial production already, we confirmed that this what customer wanted from us from this project phase will be met. If the project management was really done not in a hurry, just fulfilling all the requirements, having all the necessary documentation done at that time, then we may say that we have some kind of comfort that we will meet the customer requirements regarding quality and also delivery, because of course we had a feasibility study before. In the project phase, we validated this, what we did in the whole project phase, and then we have the release confirmed by production approval process and any kind. For instance, in American approach, it would be PPAP, or in VDA approach, it would be VDA2. So we actually, we will say that we confirmed that everything what customer wanted from us, he received. But in serial production, we have also additional requirements, not only this what would be in a project required, and not only this what is strictly connected to the manufacturing of the product itself. We also have a lot of responsibility on the shoulders of, for instance, top management. So we can't forget that for customer orientation in the whole organization, who is responsible? Of course, top management. And the top management is also responsible that customer requirements are met in the organization. So we can't forget about this. We also have to see that customer orientation in the serial production is reflected through, for instance, risk analysis. Yes, because also we will find in the automotive standards some certain certain requirements, what has to be also implemented in the risk analysis, for instance, warranty, for instance, lessons learned from claims, from product audit, which also with, for instance, as a product audit I mentioned, will also confirm if we can still meet customer requirements. This is what we actually approved in the project phase. Yes. Also, let's remember that customer satisfaction in serial production will be also strongly emphasized when we will be when we will be establishing our goals for the system. Yes, there we also need to adjust to this, what customer would like to receive from us. And at the end, this what was in the goals, what was in the monitoring will be found in the at least annual management review of this, how our quality management system is actually performing. Then we also have to concentrate on this. So over there we can also find, and probably in other also clauses of EATF we can find this, but probably here right now I don't want to talk only about the EATF itself, but also this monitoring of processes, which each process at the end has to deliver this what actually will contribute to the customer satisfaction, is actually this what also is connected to the monitoring of our activities in the processes. So let's say that this will be more or less this.
Okay, so if you take now a little bit the brighter picture, when you look, I mean, we talk now about a customer, we talk about our own organization, and but the automotive industry is working in some supply chains. So the responsibility is not just between two subjects. Is the responsibility should be split actually to the whole supply chain. How is it here?
This is a very good question, because our organization, as I said at the very beginning, is not only the one contributor for the customer satisfaction. All the supply chain, let's say, farther tiers, also contribute to this. First of all, we as a supplier to our OEM, let's imagine we are tier 1, for instance, we have the obligation that we need to cascade the requirements from our customers in the whole supply chain. So generally also we can find some requirements in EATF, which will actually make the situation easy, because this will be again audit criteria which need to be verified during the audits, and that's why we'll pay a lot of attention to this. But generally, you have to always cascade the customer requirements, not only specific requirements, but also other customer requirements, which probably will be included in, for instance, some agreements. Of course, we can do it by our organization's manuals to suppliers, the tier 2 and farther from the customer, from OEM, doesn't have to directly know that these are the requirements directly from certain OEM, but generally the effect is important here. They have to actually fulfill these requirements. And also important is that we have to also concentrate on the requirements of the legal, for instance, requirements, not only where we are producing for the customer. We also have to remember about fulfilling the requirements in the whole supply chain from the in the country where we will be delivering to our customer, which simply doesn't have to mean that this will be the market where the product will be used. So also we have to fulfill the requirements from the place where the product will be definitely used. So you have to remember that statutory and regulatory requirements are also very crucial, because, as I mentioned, you have to follow them as they are in the EATF requirements. Also some special requirements to special characteristics. This is also important topic. You also have a direct requirement toward this. What about safety of the product? Yes, these are also requirements which have to be cascade in the whole supply chain, and this is also written as a requirement. So let's remember that we are not alone for the customer satisfaction to contribute to the final score. That's why also we have to have the processes to buy from the suppliers the products which are approved on the same, and they are also under the same rules like we are towards our customers. And we can, of course, deliver to the customer, to the final customer, for instance, this OEM, if we also apply that rules for approving the products from our supply chain, because this will also confirm that the customer requirements are met, are delivered in the supply chain.
Okay, now you know how is it? You know, everybody want to do the best job, and on the end you get anyway some problems. So what actually the organization shall do when the customer satisfaction is not met?
Unfortunately, it really cannot be met. So then we have to apply also again some rules which can be found in the EATF. But generally, if the customer satisfaction actually is also one, I must say, top non-conformity, which we can meet, for instance, during third-party audits in EATF, certified management systems. And it happened really in last year. This is one of the top 10. So we can't forget about this, that this is also the presenting how important this topic is. So generally, let's remember that we also are obliged to follow some rules connected to handling the non-conformities, for instance. When we are talking from the process level perspective, we also have to assure that if we would not meet the outcome of our processes, and this outcome will be, for instance, revealed in monitoring of the processes, you have to undertake some actions. And the same actually is here with customer satisfaction, for instance, because you will see that customer satisfaction is monitored, as I said at the very beginning, through some indicators. So if indicators are not meeting the goals, because they should have goals, in fact, then you have to undertake some actions. And these actions definitely have to be taken to also to, first of all, to correct this what is happening, and maybe also to later on to actually to find the root cause and to implement some corrective actions to actually prevent reoccurrence. This is right now we can say we are around the preventive actions. Yes, so what we can do in our system. Also, when customer satisfaction is not met, this actually, I must say, should be raised, for instance, in management review. The top management should be aware what is happening. And of course, as I said, customer portals from the external source of customer satisfactions would be very essential here. And based on this, if our satisfaction of our customer is not met, after management review, or actually as the outcome of management review, also top management should decide on doing a prioritization of the actions to meet this customer satisfaction. So also this presents that this is really important factor. Because as we always have to remember that each clause what we are doing in our quality management system at the end has to assure that customer satisfaction will be met, that all additional requirements also are met, which, for instance, can be given to organizations through, for instance, the CSRs. So more or less, I would say that this will be this if the customer satisfaction will be not met.
Okay, we cover it now. Actually, the customer, own organization, then our suppliers, and we have one party more in this play, and this is the auditor. This is the third party audits. What is the role there, and what is actually for the auditor in this context of customer satisfaction actually the most important?
So customer satisfaction as the whole, I would say, phenomenon is crucial for third-party audits, because actually this audits also will assure customer interests. Yes, so generally we can say that always customer, I mean OEMs satisfaction will be checked during that audits, and it starts from almost every audit. When third-party auditor will come to us, he will start, or she, the lady, will start from having insight on this, what is happening through customer monitoring by reviewing customer portals and the scorecards. And this is also additional time which is not included in the timing of the audit. So this is the first starting point why customer satisfaction is really important. Also, last year we have a special sanctioned interpretation for the rules how to maintain EATF certification in the organizations. Sanctioned interpretations are additional requirements or the formulations which actually may change the original meaning of some requirement in EATF, and we have sanctioned interpretations toward the requirements in requirements for quality management system, but also additional to this we have these rules which I mentioned, and also for these rules we have sanctioned interpretations. And through one sanctioned interpretation which was issued last year, also audit days can be determined based on the customer satisfaction. Yes, in practice, when I was managing quality management system, my auditor asked me to provide him before the audit, sometime before audit, the scoring from customer portals to have a look if our customer is simply satisfied. Then, if he noticed that there are some issues here, and our reaction toward this customer satisfaction not met is not actually effective, then based on these results, the third-party auditor took a decision if he had to reserve some additional time to verify what is happening with these actions to assure customer satisfaction. And we are talking here about really I would say not that little time for this verification, because this is between 4 up to 8 hours in a total time. And if we know that audit day, EATF audit day is 8 hours, then we even can receive extra 1 day, which will be on our cost to actually go through with the auditor what is happening with customer satisfaction. And this 1 day timing also depends on not only of the size of the organization, as it is actually a rule for generally EATF certification, but also depends how many OEMs we have. Yes, if we have minimum 1 or 2, or we have more than 3, then these are special timing. Yes.
Right. Okay. I didn't want to disturb you.
You didn't.
Okay, great. So look, from my side, I'm absolutely satisfied. I have no more question, but maybe I forgot something. It's something there what you want to talk about?
Maybe
we cover everything.
Maybe we can receive some questions from our guests that then we can also discuss also on about the experiences you have with customer satisfaction. Do you struggle with any issues?
Very good. So if somebody want to ask something, please just switch on your micro and ask, or write it in chat. What is however is it better for you? So any question from you? Don't be shy. Go for it. Only one chance.
If you don't want to raise a question or you don't have any issues, you can say how actually you feel your own thoughts, impressions about customer satisfaction. What would you add? What I, for instance, didn't mention, or I should?
Oh, thank you. What you said about customer satisfaction is quite helpful. Now, if we look the other way around, yeah, that's one issue I have to think about. Situation is you have a customer and you produce to the customer a product X, version 1. And you do this over the last 2.5 years. No customers complain, everything is fine. Yeah, but he hasn't improved your PPAP and he's not paying the tooling costs. Yeah, that's the situation. Now, customer comes around and says, everything is fine. I would like to have product X, but version 2. Now, question to you as an auditor or someone like me who likes QMS. IATF is talking about risk management, risk-based thinking. Yeah. And I'm struggling at the moment. Should I introduce something like a customer rating where I say, okay, how fast is a customer in responding to a drawing change or to respond to PPAC documentation, or is paying tooling costs, or yeah, because it's not only customer satisfaction in one direction, should be as well in the other one. So what do you think about this?
So as you said, when asking about the second version, I would say that definitely if we would work with the customer using the VDA MLA approach, where you have actually more interaction with the customer, you're summarizing single tasks, assignments, then it would be probably much more easier because it's more transparent. You have, based on the project risk, some classification A, B, or C, where you have more involvement of the customer. So in this regard, I would say that some things might be raised when the project phase is still in progress. Yes, for instance, because in VDA MLA, I really like this, what is very exceptional, what you don't have in the American approach, that not only supplier is evaluated by the customer, but also customer is evaluated by the supplier, has also some obligation to provide some information, to maybe raise the topic that, oh gosh, tooling is not paid and it's not a little money, yes. So this would be easy, but generally, I know that we are talking about partnership with the interested parties and with the customers. This is one of, again, the rule from the TQM philosophy. But sometimes it's not enough when we are talking about the business. This is also based on the fact. The fact is you didn't pay. we have here a big risk. We probably be not capable to invest more if you do not have it. And now, if the customer is in really a big need that he has to buy from us, because probably we are so exceptional and unique on the market that we are the only one source, then we have a better negotiation position, yes. But if we do not have this position, then it would be really difficult. Of course, we have agreements, and then probably we have to maybe go this legal path. What was in the agreement? You're obliged to pay for the tooling. Yes, we don't want to do for you another revision of the new version of the product. It's really very case dependent how it will work. But from the quality point of view, I would say that, of course, always risk-based thinking, as you've said, it's a good approach, and second, a good planning. And in the project phase, that's why I like VDA MLA, because it's really very transparent, and customer cannot neglect our voice.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Agatha, we have other three questions from Mr. Miguel Rueda Parash. I don't know if I saying the name in the right way. I'm sorry for that. The first question is, do you have a practical experience about improving the customer satisfaction of a given company?
I think everyone here has, because everyone will contribute for customer satisfaction. So I don't know if here the answer is expected that there were some spectacular actions toward customer satisfaction. But generally, again, it's case dependent, because customer satisfaction is monitored, actually has two sources: logistic one, delivery performance, and also this what has happened with the quality. And here again, the actions are also depending on this, what is happening with the satisfaction. But I started my answer with this, that everyone contributes to quality and then customer satisfaction. We have at least few places in EATF, starting with quality awareness and roles and responsible, that we have to know that we contribute to, at the end, to customer satisfaction by knowing our own influence on producing actually pieces, a product, which will be actually conforming to the requirements. So I would say this. I don't know if this was expected answer or other spectacular.
Maybe I tell you the other two questions, because it makes maybe more sense. The second was and which have been the major actions helping to improve the customer satisfaction? And the third question was, how did you measure the satisfaction and its improvement? So you already answered it a little bit.
Yes, but the second question, when you are talking about major actions, I must tell you that if we are talking about this major, always the most spectacular, but of course with sort of irony here, is when we have spatial status and all the world is watching at us and expecting fast actions. Especially in the corporations, because special status can actually even result in a certification suspension. Yes. So this is the first what came on my mind, and the second, how to measure satisfaction and improvement. So generally, of course, you can measure by KPIs. This is the first source, but also you can receive some feedback from the customer, not only through KPIs, because, for instance, if you have some direct meetings with the customer, so you also can ask about some satisfaction in, for instance, built in the project, built in the general cooperation, build this meetings can also be a kind of purchasing meetings between the customer and the supplier. Also, what you can do is that you're preparing a questionnaire and you're sending to the customer for answers. Yes. So there are that kind of not maybe measuring by KPIs, but also these are the ways how you can gain a knowledge about customer satisfaction.
Okay.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
Yep. Any other questions?
Well, yeah, I have the kind of specific question. Let me say we as a Rehau stronger company, I was trying to resolve some topic regarding the BMW customer. You probably know the LPKM portal where you can see this performance, not only the quality, also the logistic and so on. And yeah, I got some let me say weaknesses there. Was rated with the 4 points. That means that the red one now, yeah, they have the LPKM next. And these, let's say, 4 weak points were for the some specific purchasing topics that we as a company we are not showing to the BMW customer. Let's say the breakdown of these piece costs. That means we will not show how our supply chain is purchasing the parts for the specific piece price and so on, and we are selling the final product to the BMW. That means that we as a company will never ever show to our customer our price piece and, let's say, our policy, where we are buying the parts and so on, and what is the price for it. So we will have there always those weak 4 points, and it will always be displayed as a red color. But from the third party auditor, that could be a problem, so I was trying to resolve it as a topic, but yeah, they rejected any improvement in terms that we will never show the customer the piece price and so on. I mean, piece price of these purchase components. Is it enough, like the statement from the, let's say, Rehau Central Department, that this is our policy and we don't care about the customer, or?
Maybe not in this wording. We don't care. Well, this is a difficult topic because we are talking about money here. We talked, of course, from the very beginning that we have the obligations to satisfy the customer, assure the customer satisfaction. But honestly, we all working in automotive industry have to bear in mind that customers sometimes are not, fair. Being not the truth. I also have some experiences in this regard, but generally you didn't neglect the situation. But yes, you tried to do some actions. Maybe risk analysis would also be helpful here in this regard. That definitely you will not demonstrate that you neglected this. Yes, that by risk analysis, you decided that you took a strategy that you will accept this. If I would be an auditor having such situation during my audit, then first I would try to see how the organization in general is handling this situation, because it's right now this is about the satisfaction by giving the certain information to the customer, but this will not have the influence on this that the product which will be shipped will be wrong quality or will not be not on time. Yes. So this is completely different kind of satisfaction to satisfy our customer. This LPQM, as far as I remember, it's a manual for logistics, which has 200 pages, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Honestly, I have never read this because I was not working in the logistics department, and I believe that people in that department simply know it. But I know that there may be a lot of requirements in this, sometimes even that which can contribute to delivery performance are difficult to meet. And here we are talking about the information only. So my advice is just not to neglect having a very good risk analysis where you will define the strategy for handling this risk.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, because the only thing I can show to the third-party auditor is that, yeah, I was trying to improve this, but from the central department, I got, you know, the negative feedback that we will not improve it because this is the policy of yeah, as you said, money. So at least I was trying to do so, but yeah, there's no improvement. Despite today's, yes, we are shining, you know, we are having the overall score for green color, but yeah, just, you know, to be sure that this could not be any problem.
Yeah.
Further. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So thank you very much.
Welcome.
So, any other question? We will be happy to answer all your questions. We have a little bit time. So, if there are no question anymore, I would like to say a big thank you to Agatha for her fantastic explanation of customer satisfaction. And I would like to say also thank you to all the participants staying with us, and yeah, and have a nice afternoon, the rest of the afternoon, and have a nice evening. And I hope we will see you again. And if you need any help in regarding quality or production, whatever, through interim managers and experts, just call me or Agatha, or let us know, and I think we will do the best to help you and to get the perfect customer satisfaction. So, Agatha, do you want to add something?
Yes. Thank you very much that you spent your time, your afternoon with us. I really love talking about the requirements in quality management system. This really gives me a satisfaction. If you would like to ask me any questions, I'm also active on LinkedIn. You can find me there. And also I encourage you to visit some my articles I'm writing and publishing on the internet and on my blog, which is called qualitywise.pl. And just you can also find there a source of your information and some kind of inspiration for yourself. So do not hesitate. I'm always helpful and trying to help as much as I can.
So thank you very much. Have a nice time and bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.